Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. Richard Tice, we should be formal with this and use his full title. Richard Tice, the chair of the Reform Party, formerly known as the Brexit Party, which isn't really a party, it's actually just a company of which Nigel Farage is the majority shareholder, because that's apparently how we do politics in this country. Yeah, that party, which also has an MP that is a convicted woman beater. Yeah, he was just on Sky News discussing Labour's plans for the budget and the economy. And it was a great example of how some people in the mainstream media simply refuse to hold these people to account. Because if you were to ask yourself, why is Richard Tice on our screens right now? You would have to go back in time. You'd have to think, okay, well, he was originally part of the Leave.eu campaign group during the referendum. That then became Leave Means Leave, which then became the Brexit Party, and now Reform UK. So he only really exists on our TVs because of Brexit. That was his reason for being within politics. So if he starts talking about stuff that directly relates to Brexit, how can any journalist that calls themselves a journalist not mention that? But here we go.
We're in a crisis. You can't tax your way out of a crisis. You've got to grow your way out of a crisis. And that means reducing the size of the state and motivating people with hard work, taking risks, setting up businesses.
The best estimates that we've got say that Brexit, the thing that he exists within politics for, is costing our economy about £100 billion a year. Now, you can argue about the figures, but his own party has admitted that it is making us poorer.
We haven't actually benefited from Brexit economically.
We're getting poor for a variety of reasons, of which Brexit is one.
So for Richard Tice to complain about our economic growth is insanity. And when asked what Richard Tice would do to achieve that growth...
Imagine that you are Chancellor in a Farage-led Reform government. What would we expect from you on Wednesday?
Well, what we're going to get on Wednesday, I fear, is the most socialist budget in living memory.
Now, first you should notice that he avoids the question of what he would do in power, mainly because his manifesto this summer wasn't costed. The plans that they had, they didn't actually know if the numbers added up, and they didn't. According to the Institute for Fiscal Studies, they were out by tens of billions of pounds. But carry on.
I think it'll be an assault on jobs.
In just the last week, we've learned that the chief of the City of London, the financial sector, says that Brexit has cost 40,000 jobs just there alone.
I think it'll be an assault on small businesses. If you tax small businesses, you talked about the Federation of Small Businesses earlier, people are saying it's not worth the hassle employing people, all the new regulations, all the new taxes. That is a major inhibitor on growth.
He's talking about regulations, he's talking about small businesses. He even mentions the Federation of Small Businesses, but the Federation of Small Businesses has said multiple times that the extra cost of regulations due to us not being in the EU single market is crippling our small businesses. 56% of all of our export businesses say that Brexit is making life harder for them. And as recently as this summer, the chief of the British Chamber of Commerce has said that we need to stop walking on eggshells when it comes to undoing the damage of Brexit. So you cannot claim to be on the side of business or economic growth if you are one of the architects behind Brexit. And yet Trevor Phillips, one of Sky News' top interviewers, just sits there and lets him complain about the problems that he helped create, without holding him to account for any of it. Really? I'm Femi. Make sure you follow F Politics so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.